Hey Atlanta, tonight's game has kind of a cool origin story. Tri-County and Belding had never squared off before until last year's playoffs. The atmosphere that night was so electric, they decided to schedule a game against each other for week 9 of the regular season. That brings us to tonight. While Popovich did not earn a rose on season 1 of The Bachelorette, there's still a chance he can get his on Coach Taylor's staff. Spartan Stadium is celebrating its 100th birthday this year. Obviously, there have been countless moments in this building given its century-long existence. However, it's the history of the place that makes it special. Look at it, he wasn't even that good in the playoffs. And I don't care what you say because he was not good. He got lucky. A 49ers linebacker dropped an easy interception in the NFC Championship that would have sent the 49ers to the Super Bowl. And you may have noticed Bradford is back to wearing his classic number 75. He sported the number 70 in training camp and preseason games, but once his old high school and college number became available, he snagged it right away. Reporting in Detroit, I'm Mark Skol Jr., 13 on your side sports. Spartan Stadium is celebrating its 100th birthday this year. Obviously, there have been countless moments in this building given its century-long existence. However, it's the history of the place that makes it special.
100 years of tradition right here.
But did you know Spartan Stadium has not always been called Spartan Stadium? It was first College Field, then Macklin Field after former MSU coach John Macklin, followed by Macklin Stadium before it became Spartan Stadium in 1956. Michigan State historian Jack Ebling says this building has changed quite a bit over the years.
As it grew, it expanded from 26,000 up to 50,000, which is a lot. And then they put the decks on, and gradually it got up to 76,000.
That is where it stands now. But, of course, the university has tinkered with its look for a while.
In '69, they put in artificial turf for the first time. Then they went from artificial turf, then they went to grass, and back to turf, and now they're back to grass. So maybe they can't make up their mind.
What Michigan State can agree on is that Spartan Stadium is the place to be on college football Saturdays.
I think we all know how special Spartan Stadium is.
But what makes it so special?
I think it's the people that come to watch. You know, you get that crowd going in one direction. Get them going in one direction. It's tough to stop. A lot of great moments in that stadium.
Moments like the 28-game winning streak in the 1950s, to Levi Jackson running 88 yards down the sidelines to beat number 1 Ohio State in 1974. The list goes on and on, especially in one particular area of the stadium.
The northeast corner of that stadium, I remember a lot of special moments happening, whether it was the Little Giants fake field goal, or whether it was a touchdown against Michigan in overtime. I think some of those close wins against really good programs would be what rank at the top.
Those wins mean even more for the Spartans, and the Paul Bunyan Trophy is on the line.
The memory that comes to mind is always rivalry games, so playing the school down the road in 2013, the -48 rushing yard game at home in the woodshed in Spartan Stadium is probably my favorite memory.
Any diehard Michigan State fan could talk about those memories for hours.
There were so many of those memories, and if you were a student here, or if you just gone to games here, you remember those, and they're part of the fabric of your life.
And the 2023 Spartans hope they can have some special moments of their own that will be talked about 100 years from now.
Michigan State's going to play football whether we're here or not. You know, what is our legacy going to be while we're here? It's a high bar, very high bar.
Mark Skol Jr., 13 on your side sports.
Here come your Broncos!
Western Michigan head football coach Lance Taylor is certainly proud of his first coaching staff, especially new special teams coordinator Jeff Popovich.
He commands and demands attention to detail, and that's what I love about him.
And love was what Popovich was looking for 20 years ago.
It was an interesting experience, to say the least.
Popovich was on the first season of The Bachelorette. Young Coach Pop changed a tire on the show back in 2003 to impress Trista.
It gets brought up to me on a regular basis.
His Broncos players are a bit hesitant to bring up the topic.
He's been super hard on us, so I feel like everyone's a little afraid to push that question out.
Coach Taylor, on the other hand, lets it rip.
I think it's mentioned at least once a day by me or somebody on our staff. So, the more we can continue to, be good sports about it, it's great.
Taylor learned about Popovich's appearance after he hired him on staff. Pop did not advance beyond the second episode. So now he is walking on eggshells around Taylor.
He brought it up. I mean, he did mention that it was grounds for dismissal when he found out about it.
While Popovich did not earn a rose on season 1 of The Bachelorette, there's still a chance he can get his on Coach Taylor's staff.
So I was disappointed that he didn't earn a rose, and I told him I was going to have to go back and check the film and tape and see if he cried in the limo on the way home.
Popovich has been married to his wife Laura for 18 years, and they have 2 children, so he's all cool with a little chirping about his appearance on The Bachelorette.
I partook in, and so I embrace it at this point. Take your job seriously, not yourself, and so have a good time. And it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Mark Skol Jr., 13 on Your Side Sports. Ottawa Hills track standout Benna Anderson is really fast.
I really like running for some reason.
That reason might be because Anderson knows how to pound the pavement with the best of them.
2:11.7. He's probably the top distance runner in Michigan at this point.
That's no exaggeration. The City High School senior has won a few state championships.
And Benna Anderson, Grand Rapids, Ottawa Hills.
He also ranks 2nd in the mile, 3rd in the 3,200, and 6th in the 800 in the history of high school running in the state.
I love the people I run with. I like it a lot.
Anderson loves the people he runs with, but he's looking to join some elite company.
I'd always kind of dreamed of doing it, I guess.
The future Syracuse track star aspires to become just the 20th high school student to ever run a sub-4-minute mile in the United States.
I think last year, beginning of this year, is the first time it kind of dawned on me that it was like an actual thing that could happen.
Ottawa Hills star.
Anderson has been very close. His best mile time ever stands at 4 minutes and 3 seconds. That's the same mark his dad, Donovan, ran while he was a star at Kansas.
I think my dad has been a huge reason to why I'm as good as I am, or why I still do run.
But his coach, Dan Ebright, says the senior should give himself the credit for the work he has put in to be in this position.
Honestly, it's been an honor and a blessing to coach Benna. Very few coaches get an opportunity to coach an athlete that is as talented and is working as hard as he is and runs those kind of times.
And if Anderson runs a time under 4 minutes in the mile, he would become one of the select few to accomplish the feat.
I would not mind joining that club.
Mark Skol Jr., 13 on Your Side Sports.
"13 on Your Side Sports", sponsored by My Toyota of Muskegon.
The college football season is rapidly approaching. We are less than 2 weeks away until the Western Michigan Broncos take the field for the first time in the Lance Taylor era. Today at Waldo Stadium, the Broncos wrapped up the final day of fall camp. It was practice number 16 for Western. Taylor says the buy-in is there, the energy has definitely been evident, and he really likes where his team is at this moment.
We're really proud of what we've accomplished and the steps that we've taken. We're right under 2 weeks until game one. We've still got a lot of work to do, a lot of preparation to do, and some things to clean up. But I'm really proud of where we are. I think the guys have improved offensively, defensively, and special teams wise. I think we've had great competition during this camp. We've really taken a step in the right direction in terms of who we want to be this year.
The year starts off with a showdown against St. Francis at home on August 31st. Who's some Lions news? The team waived wide receiver Denzel Mims today. He had been dealing with ankle and calf injuries. This comes about a month after he was acquired by Detroit in a trade with the New York Jets. Because the trade was conditional, the Lions will get the 6th-round pick they sent to the Jets back. The Lions have signed former Chargers wide receiver Jason Moore in response to this move. Speaking of football, the Giants and Panthers played in the preseason tonight, which means former Muskegon football star Khalil Pimpleton got some looks. The Central Michigan product had a similar stat line as he did last week against the Lions, recording 2 catches for 18 yards. He had 3 touches for 19 yards at Ford Field. The former Big Red did not see action until the 4th quarter. Pimpleton is hoping to make the 53-man roster for the first time of his career. Giants win 21-19. The Tigers played 2 baseball games today in Cleveland. It's the 6th doubleheader the team has been a part of this season. Game 1 starts out with a bang. Second pitch of the ball game, yabba dabba Badoo. Akil Badoo leaves the yard to center. Tigers lead 1-0. 4 batters later, Kerry Carpenter pokes it through to center. Detroit goes up 2-0. Next up is Miggy, and he also brings in a run with this deep shot down the left field line. It's 3-0 after the top of the 1st. And in the top of the 9th, Mr. Rogers takes a stroll through this Cleveland neighborhood. Jake Rogers' solo shot puts a bow on the 4-2 Game 1 victory. Let's get to Game 2. Tigers look to go 2 for 2 on the day. In the 4th, Andy Ibanez skies one to right, but Cleveland misplays it. And with 2 outs, Riley Green was running the whole time. He scores from first. It's 1-0. But in the 8th, Brian Rocchio shoots this up the middle past Javi Baez. That ties the game at 1. Very next batter is Will Brennan, and he does a little bit more damage with the shot that goes off of the wall. That breaks the tie. Guardians come out on Game 2, 4-1. Every single year, the Whitecaps transform into the Beer City Bunghammers. It's a real treat around the LMCU ballpark, and tonight was that night in Comstock Park. Beer City has also won 4 straight entering the ball game, but they trail 5-2 in the 7th. That's until Austin Murr hits the ball on the sweet spot of the bat, and it sails on out of here. It's now a 5-3 deficit for Beer City. In the 8th, the Bunghammers add another as Elizer Alfonso grounds out to first with a runner on third, so it's now a 1-run ball game. But in the 9th, Christian Franklin removes all hope with the solo shot. Beer City falls 6-5. The Whitecaps are now 2-3 as the Bunghammers. That's it for sports. Michael has another look at your forecast next.